I'm going to ask for permission to tell the truth. Truth is not always for the weak or the meek. Sometimes the truth is. Then the coaching staff that told us that they were better and that they were different. Jake, have I spoken the truth so far?
You have?
Okay. Now, I am upset with myself because during this week, what happened was it was put out that we should not tell fans the truth. As if Husker fans can't accept the truth.
Yes.
It seems to me, right, that if you travel to Champaign, Illinois on week 1 and the first game, this is a Big Ten conference game. This isn't Nebraska playing Sisters of the Poor or Joe's College or Tim and Steve and Tommy and the guys down the street. But this is Illinois, and you are Nebraska. And it should be, at some point, you should be able to say in the same sentence, this team wasn't good enough today, and I still want them to do better. Once again, Jake, I'll ask you, have I stayed within the lines of the truth?
You are in the lines of the truth, my friend.
Okay, now let's get out. Let's get out. I'm going to give you the coach's side of it first.
All right.
Right? If this were my team, because I can't speak for Scott Frost or the coaching staff, but me as a coach, the first responsibility that I have to do is I have to take responsibility for what happened. See, that's the grown man in the room. And the head coach has to take responsibility for the product that was put on the field on your behalf, Jake. He was representing you and you and you. That Nebraska name has value. It has legacy and legend. And what was done with it today was a disservice and absolute disrespect. Now, am I rooting against Nebraska before you get started? The answer is no. See, I'm mad at myself because I bought into maybe I should tell them what they want to hear rather than what they need to know.
Tell them what they need to know.
And see, here's the thing. Shame on me. I'm the coach and I'm the mic. I got the guy with the mic. I'm the guy with the microphone. I'll apologize to all the listeners from last week when I said I thought they were going to be better. From my eyes to this microphone, I thought in the drills that I saw, they were going to be better than they have been the last couple of years. What I saw today was not better in any way, shape, or form. Not in any group. Not in any room that existed. That if you matched up Illinois' coaching groups and Nebraska's, Illinois checked all the boxes. Quarterback play, Illinois. Running back room, Illinois. Receivers, Illinois. Offensive line, Illinois. Linebackers, Illinois. Defensive line, Illinois. Defensive backs, Illinois. Special teams, Illinois. As the coach, I'm responsible, and I would feel bad, and I would demand better. See, but again, I can't speak for Scott Frost. I would say I will do better. Why? Because Nebraska fans deserve better. These young men deserve better. That's not why they went to mom and dad's house and said, hey, give me your baby for 4 years, 5 years, 6 years, and I will put them in one of the great elite programs in the country, and I will help them build their future. You'll be able to watch them on TV, and they'll be on national TV. So you'll get to see how well they're doing, which sounds great in theory until they're on national TV and everybody's watching, and you no-showed. You didn't deliver. And to the coach, I will say, I'm accepting all of this. that as the head coach, I'm going to hold every coaching assistant accountable. They're going to be graded out, actually graded, play by play, position by position, task by task. And I'm not going to hide it from you, Jake.
Yeah.
Like come Monday, if you ask me, hey, how did the quarterback room grade out? I would tell you the truth. I will tell you the truth that quite frankly, a backup quarterback from Rutgers came and in the game unexpected and laced us up.
Had no problems.
Laced us up. Look, we took out the top quarterback, and guess what? It got worse.
It did.
It got worse. Here's another truth bit for you. As a coach, I will hold the players accountable for what they did because that's what adults do when they are responsible. I will say, listen, Mr. Martinez, you and Mr. Verduzco and Mr. Lubick and Scott Frost, you got to have a meeting. You got to have a meeting. And guess what? You can't tell me on Monday, I'm looking forward to next week to Fordham. Because that would tell me that that's none of my business. And remember the fan base. This fan base deserves to know what's going on in its loved program.
Yep.
And again, I'm not mad at the coaches. I'm hurt for them. I'm disappointed because I've been in that room where you work your tail off and you think everything's right and you think you're ready. And when you find out it's not, man up and say, I'm sorry. We will do better. I will do better. We will get better because that's what the coach says. Play by play, day by day, we'll get better and better until how's it finish?
Day by day.
Yeah. How's that finish? What's the final line?
We can't be beat.
Can't be beat. Won't be beat.
Thank you.
Right? That's how that ends.
Yeah, it's a frustrating day, DP. I mean, this is something where we watched this game. We understand Illinois beat you last year. They ran the ball down your throat. Your defense was terrible. Your offense was not good. But the thought was, hey, you come into today. It's a fresh season. Adrian Martinez comes in with a fresh slate. This is a team that he has burned in the past. Last year, he didn't get a start. Luke McCaffrey did not play well. It did not go well for the defense. And you thought, all right, that's reason to have hope. This is a brand new staff. Now, again, an experienced staff. Brett Bielema, of course, has done well in the Big Ten at Wisconsin for years. Hasn't coached in college football for 4 seasons. Didn't do well the last time he coached at Arkansas. I know this is his conference, but still, you would expect some sort of issue. And they weren't great off the bat, but you're right, DP. What's crazy is that this team, the Illinois team, got better when a guy that was a backup at Rutgers, Art Sitkowski, came in and lit up Nebraska. He only had like 1 or 2 incompletions today. Shoot through the deep ball on the sideline to get down to the 1-yard line. But, you know, and the play that everyone talks about, which is true, is he did throw an interception, but he got called back because of a tough hit from Caleb Tanner and taunting. So the pick actually results in 30 yards of offense for Illinois. I thought that might rattle him. That was early on, and it did the complete opposite. He balled out. The defense, again, the offense was disappointing. The defense was not horrendous, but disappointing also. But it's back to what we talked about. It's all 3 units to a certain extent underperforming, all making critical mistakes. So, a punt caught the 1-yard line that results in a safety. What are we doing? We've harped all offseason and the last 2 off seasons about special teams. Special teams has not improved. You had 2 missed extra points today. You had a 13-yard punt today. You had 2 kickoffs that were returned, but not quite to the 25-yard line. It's the same crap, year after year, game after game. And you're right. We deserve to know how this is going behind closed doors and practices. When you tell us nothing, we're led to believe that we're going to be better, but then you show up and it's the same dang script. as it has been for 3 or 4 years.
What's the talking head song? Same as it ever was, same as it ever was, same as it ever was. To move out of that space, and you said you had the personnel you wanted. You said you had the time you wanted. We were told that this team was better, and we believed them. Now, I'm not mad that they told me that. I'm mad that I believed them. Like, that's the part that bothers me. I should know better. But, okay, you got me. You got me week one. Let's go through the numbers so folks can say, wow, this is how you feel about it. But I'll give you the numbers because the numbers matter. Martinez was 16 of 32 for 232, 1 touchdown. Remember, the numbers mean whatever you want them to remember. The biggest play of the day, without fail, the biggest play of the day is Adrian making a decision or not taking care of the ball, and it turned the game around. Turned the game around.
Yeah, it did.
Now, it wasn't on purpose, but it's his job to take care of the ball. That's literally why the quarterback's the most important guy, because guess what? He touches the ball in every play, and he better treat it right. Didn't happen. Let's go now. Now, Adrian was 18 carries for 111 yards, long touchdown.
75-yard touchdown.
75-yard touchdown.
Most of that.
In the backfield, Gabe Irvin, 12 for 33. Ramir Johnson, 4 for 11. Marquis Step, 3 for 10. Samari Toure, 2 for 9 on a couple of reverses. The receiving group, Oliver Martin, 6 for 103, average 17 to catch, 1 TD. Not mad at his day. Toure, 3 for 37. Now, if we could go to Vegas on Friday and they said, here's the over-under, Toure, 3 catches, 37 yards. Everybody in the state of Nebraska takes the over. Everybody takes the over. We were wrong. Omar Manning, at least he showed up. He's out there. I don't know if they know what number he is, but they have 2 for 26. Austin Allen, 2 for 23. Wyatt Lever, 2 for 13. The kick return game was not good. It wasn't substantial.
It was not.
The punt return game, and again, I'm speaking facts. I'm not getting into opinion. I'm just speaking facts. That the first punt time you return a punt or try to return a punt for a coach, rule 1, catch the ball. 2, if it's inside the 20, get your heels at the 9.5.
That's right.
If you have to move, leave it alone. Get out of the way. As a matter of fact, haul tail towards the 20-yard line, get out of the way in case it bounces back to hit you. Right? We know that. On the 2 biggest plays of the day, once again, I'll point out. Big play number 1, Adrian Martinez's fumble, scoop, and score. Big play number 2, another captain, Cam Taylor-Britt, and on the goal line. That is we talked Thursday and Friday about chaos plays.
Yep.
And I said, as long as they play within themselves, they're going to be fine. Going to the ground late in the half so that you don't put the ball, just do nothing. And you're going to halftime tied. Do nothing. On that play, on the punt, do nothing. Do nothing. That's leadership.
Yep.
So,
would you call that selfish? What he did there?
Well,
how do you describe that play? Tell that as a
panic.
coach.
Panic is what that is. Panic is what that is. Let's go to the other side because Illinois' numbers are fascinating.
Okay.
Satowski was 12 of 15 for 124, 2 touchdowns.
As a backup.
Combined, 15 of 19 for 159. Controlled, purposeful passing game. Right? Get it. Back in the backfield. Epstein went 16 for 75. Reggie Love, 12 for 45. Chase Brown, 5 for 24. If we were given those numbers before the game, Jake, we would be thrilled.
Yeah.
We'd be thrilled that we would hold Illinois to these rushing numbers. But the receiving game, Deuce Spann, a quarterback, back-breaking throw and catch. A backup quarterback moved to receiver, catches the ball at the 1-yard line, they go in to score. Isaiah Williams, backup quarterback, moved to receiver.
Yep.
6 for 41, a touchdown. And then Luke Ford, three catches for 30. Right? So I want to be sure to be fair while telling the truth. Jake, which of those rooms give you the most panic?
Oh, man. There's a lot of panic for me, DP. Like, I want to feel like the defense is reliable for Nebraska. And I tell you what, starting off the game, that defensive line was getting some push. They were in the backfield for those first couple drives. There was nothing on the ground early on. And then here's how I answer that question. Is I feel confident that the defense can be adequate. I've never bought into them being a great unit. I think they can be adequate. But what concerns me is you brought up the most important play a little bit ago, is that Nebraska, the defense forces a turnover towards the end of the first half to get the ball back or just around midfield, like the 40-yard line. Under a minute to go, a chance to go get a field goal, a chance to go get a touchdown. It's just some momentum. And as you said, the guy that cannot make the mistake, Adrian Martinez, fumbles the ball away, it's scooped for a touchdown, and you just kind of question and say, all right, how is this going to affect the second half? You're down by 7. You had a chance to go up by 3 or up by 7, and you gave it away. How is this going to affect the team? And you saw just a really poor response from that unit because I don't know where their heads were at. They played pretty dang well in the first half. Here's the tally in the first half, DP. There were 16 points by Illinois, 7 from the defense given up, 7 from the offense directly on the fumble 6, and 2 from special teams. Mm-hmm. And that goes to them, though. That 16 points is attached to them. And so they come out in the second half. I don't think they're that aggressive. 8-minute drive, touchdown by the Illini. And I started to say, man, is this team mentally tough? Are they all bought in? Is there already problems with connection in the locker room? And maybe I overread that, but the way they came out in the second half, the defense really not getting the push you thought they might, that was a concern for me.
I don't know. I can't speak to the locker room, and I won't. To be fair, the young men that I've talked to from this team seem to love each other. They seem to feel like they were in a good place
before the game.
Look, we'll talk to them this week, and we'll get all the answers we want. But my concern was for the fan base, who is so deeply tied to the success of this program. At what point today did you go, oh, this isn't going to end well? At what point?
At the point, I think, was probably when Nebraska was still up 9, when they were up 9-2, DP, and they have the interception, and it turns into a 30-yard penalty. That's when I said, "Oh boy, here we go." They were leading at that point, and I knew that was going to come and bite them, which it did. And then, but you still expect, though, when you expect what's 9-9, you gave up a touchdown. It was a crappy, it was unfortunate for Caleb. But that just shows what we have been paranoid about all offseason. How mentally fragile is this team? And I think that showed their fragility.
Yeah, here's the thing. If you asked me earlier today how many wins I thought this team could get, that would be one answer. I'll ask you now, Jake.
Yeah.
How many wins do you think this team gets? And remember,
I just tell you, if you were in the camp that was saying 6 or 7 wins or maybe 8, you counted this as a definite win. This is one of your easiest games on paper on the schedule. Not an easy game, but one of your easier ones.
Oh.
And I'll tell you what, I'm a little nervous at Buffalo now. I'm not joking. I'm nervous at Buffalo.
You should be.
Fordham,
Buffalo was a better team last year. Buffalo was a better team than Nebraska last year.
I think you beat Fordham, but you should beat Fordham. But in terms of the number of wins you're talking about, this is going to sound over the top, maybe. And I hate saying this after the first week, but it feels like it'd be a miracle to get to 6 wins now.
Well, but that was the line, right? The line of minimum was 6 wins. Like nobody, we'll light brooms and march the Capitol if there's less than 6 wins.
Right.
So through all of that, now I'll say this: the coach in me, Look, I've been in this situation before. I've lost an opening game when I made high commitments and had high confidence. And I didn't throw in the towel and I didn't just go off the air. But you know what I did? I took responsibility for it. The accountability belongs to the adults in the room. And you can tell me that it's about the players. It's about Adrian Martinez. You can tell me it's about Cam Taylor-Britt. I'll tell you, no. The folks who are being paid to do this are the ones that you hold accountable, and they should probably agree with me. And if you asked me as a coach in the press conference, post-game press conference, I'd take responsibility, and then I'd guarantee you that we go to Norman, Oklahoma 2-1. I guarantee a better performance against Fordham. I would speak to the ability to use Fordham as the stepping block, like as a stepping stone, right? That we can work on all the things. The timing we can work on, special teams we can work on, the depth chart we can work on. As a matter of fact, I would have walked in that room and said, just gentlemen, nobody has a starting job as of right now. We go to work Monday morning and folks can win a job. Monday is win a job day for Nebraska football.
That should be
like that. If you want to give me confidence,
yep.
Tell me that everybody has to go to work tomorrow morning to win their job back, to get there. Nobody has a job on Monday, including the coaching staff. Listen.
How likely is that, DP?
Well, look, that's what winning programs do. So we'll throw it to break. I want to get back there because that's the right way to go into it, is to figure out. We've dealt with facts. Now we can get to opinion. We'll take your calls. We'll answer your text. 464-5685, Sauter Heyman text line. The live video stream is up. You can follow us there. If you want to call in, on the Lincoln hotline, 464-5685. I'm DP. He's Jake Sorensen. Jay Foreman will be on the way. More coming.
Monday nights are now famous for something else. Powerball. That's right. Powerball is adding Monday nights to the lineup, so you have more days to play. Plus, with a starting jackpot in the millions, you don't want to pass up this chance to score a bundle of money. Get pumped for Powerball with drawings Monday, Wednesday, and Saturday.
Powerball from the Nebraska Lottery. Top prize odds 1 in 292 million.
We take our college football Saturdays so seriously at 93.7 The Ticket that one postgame show simply isn't enough. Join Husker Hall of Famer Jay Foreman and DP for The Ticket postgame. 90 minutes following each Nebraska game at Tanner's Bar and Grill at 30th and Yankee Hill. They'll break down the game from their vantage point and bring in special guests as well, with giveaways to listeners who drop by. It's The Ticket postgame with Jay Foreman and DP at Tanner's Bar and Grill. Sponsored by Action Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning and Vinnie Kreekak of State Farm Insurance. Want a free pair of Nebraska football tickets? Head to theticketfm.com's contest tab and register for a free pair of tickets each week of a home game, courtesy of Ben Bleicher with Professional Realty Group of Woods Brothers and 93.7 The Ticket.
This is Brad Moline, president of Allo Communications. I'm proud to say that Allo is supporting the FCC's Emergency Broadband Benefit Program. We are committed to bringing high-quality internet to everyone in our fiber communities. If you qualify for federal support or have been financially impacted during the pandemic, you may receive free 500 megabit internet from Allo. To find out more, please stop by the Allo store or go to allofiber.com/EBB.
Everyone loves a good deal, and there's plenty of great options right now at Brown Shoe Fit for their summer clearance sale. Check out their multiple sizes and widths and sandals with brands like Clark's, Keen, Atrex, and many more. Hurry in for the best selection because this sale only goes to the end of the month. It's the summer clearance sale at Brown Shoe Fit, just south of 66th and Q in Lincoln. Are you dragging through each day? Most people are dehydrated or deficient in essential vitamins, minerals, and more. Live Hydration Spa helps you get more out of your life with their IV hydration treatments to help with anti-aging, weight loss, endurance, and more. Their performance packages can help you feel better doing your normal daily routine with boosts of energy and vitality, an increase in immunity, and quicker athletic recovery. Call today for an appointment at 402-413-2042 or walk in at 71st and Pioneers. Live Hydration Spa.
Where will you go next? The Southeast Community College Fall 2021 Continuing Education schedule of classes is arriving in your mailbox. Learn CPR and first aid, or choose a path in trades and industrial technology like automotive or welding, or computers and technology like social media and web development and design, or 19 pages of personal interest classes like making door signs or woodworking. The entire schedule is online at southeast.edu/continuing. SCC, your path to possible.
93.7 The Ticket is proud to provide listeners with daily opportunities to win contests and prizes on our airwaves, and would like to take this opportunity to remind you of a couple rules. All participants must be 21 or older and wait 30 days after winning a prize before participating in another contest. Once you win, you have 30 days to pick up your prize at the KNTK Studios, 330 North 48th Street in Lincoln, or your prize will be forfeited. Thank you for participating in our contest, and thank you for listening to 93.7 The Ticket.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com. On the internet, KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket. Back to the Ticket postgame with Jay Foreman on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Ticket Post Game Show live from Tanner's 30th and Yankee Hill. Jay Foreman will be here probably within a half hour or so. He's finishing up. Post Game Show brought to you by Action Plumbing, Heating and Air Conditioning, serving Lincoln and Southeast Nebraska for over 50 years. Visit their website at actionlincoln.com. Jake, is this say Vinny's last name?
Vinny Kreekak.
Yeah, Vinny Kreekak from State Farm Insurance.
There we go.
For any questions about insurance for auto, home, property, business, life, or health, call Vinny at 402-474-1173. That's 402-474-1173. Tanner specials today, $9.99 for prime rib French dip sandwich. You can get it with Swiss cheese, fries, or tots, or just the magical au jus sauce that they serve with it. $4.50 for Bloody Marys, $3.50 for domestic aluminum pints. We're also doing a raffle. You have until 7:30 to get in and get your name in the box for the signed Tommy Frazier jersey. We'll give that away at 7:30. For the folks in the room, if you've already got your name in the box and you're still here at 6:30, you get to put your name back in the box again to double your chances. So we take care of people who come long, stay strong. We like that. We appreciate you guys coming out on our rough Saturday evening.
Yeah.
It didn't go the way we wanted it to. It didn't go the way we planned, but that's all right. Jake, I asked you before the break.
Okay.
How many wins for the season? Does this team go to Norman, Oklahoma 2-1?
Man, that's a good question. I think they meet Fordham with relative ease. I'm not saying it'll be a blowout, but relative ease. I'm just telling you, I was probably one of the rare people that was actually nervous about Buffalo to begin the year before today.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone's saying, oh, yeah, you beat Illinois, you beat Fordham, you beat Buffalo. You know, Nebraska has had the problem for a while now with that gimme non-conference game at home. Northern Illinois beats you on your home turf. Troy has beaten you as a gimme win on your home turf. I have learned that MAC schools, Sunbelt schools, are not scared of Lincoln, Nebraska. Since that game in 2017, DP, Nebraska at home in 2017, that loss to Northern Illinois, is 9-14 at Memorial Stadium since that game. That's non-con, that's conference, 9-14 since that loss in 2017 to Northern Illinois. I want to sit here and tell you I believe they'll beat Buffalo. But I tell you, that game is going to come down to the wire. And I hate saying that's such a negative thing to say, but what I saw today would not indicate that Buffalo is going to roll over and die. And I think an Illinois-Buffalo game would be pretty good also. Yeah. I think that would be a tight game between those schools. So I'll say 2-1, but it's a very, 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 very hesitant answer to that question.
What did Illinois do that surprised you? Is there anything that they did that surprised you?
Yes. I thought going into the game, I mean, we already made fun of their receiving depth before the game. And then you had 6 guys out. You had 6 receivers out for the Illini today, and then you lost your starting quarterback early on. So I thought, okay, well, they're just going to run the ball. Nebraska was establishing a good run defense to begin. This will be easy. And Artur Sitkowski said, not so fast, my friend. So I guess I'm surprised at how effective their pass game was. Otherwise, I wasn't really amazed by anything else. It was pretty standard operation. And that's sad because that's a team that really handed you, man. Like they handled you. You tried to come back at the end, but you're down 21 points at one point. The brand new coach. The team that's lost a lot of games.
The new coach part may be more important than we give it credit.
DP, in their last 10 games, they've won 3 of them, and 2 were against Nebraska. And the other one was by 2 points against Rutgers.
Go with what you do well.
Like you are right now the bottom feeder of the conference, which is a horrible thought.
Well, how is some of the burden the fact that this was on national TV?
Yep.
Everybody saw you at your worst.
Absolutely. But that's been too common of a thing now. People see you at your worst a lot, and it's sad. This was the very first game of the entire Division I college football season. It was on Fox, so as you guys were saying this morning, they had the rabbit ears on. People that can only watch a couple games a year were watching you play football. They watched Brett Bielema in his first game back in the conference since 2012 win with the quarterback who got hurt in the first quarter.
Look,
when
they
does
were
it
on
end?
fire.
When does it end?
They were on fire in the first quarter. On fire. Defense was flying around, running hit linebacker play, pressure from up front. Feldarius Payne with 2 sacks.
Feldarius was great.
Right. DeAndre Thomas is making plays. Everything looked great. And then the big 6. Right. Let's go with the big 6. 2 missed extra points.
Yeah.
The punt return.
Yep.
Scoop and score. The roughing the passer issue.
Yep.
And then the sack right before the half. Like those 6 plays can never happen for Nebraska. Like we know Nebraska, we hate to believe that Nebraska has to be perfect to win Big Ten conference football games.
That's right.
But that might be a statement of truth. That might be a statement of truth. This team may have to be perfect. Look, we talked all week long that what was required was for Nebraska to play clean. No dumb penalties, no turnovers, right? No wasteful drives. None of that happened. Like we said all week, be clean. No dumb holding calls, right? None of that. And none of that happened.
It wasn't like they had 15 penalties, which has been the case in some losses. They had, 6 or 7, but it was the timing, man. It's the fact in the second half you're down and Cam Jurgens is, 10 yards ahead of the play and he gets a hold. You had a first down, but it comes all the way back. You had an offensive pass interference on a big play that comes back. Like it just happened at the worst times on big plays.
But there's no good time for foolery.
I understand that.
Like there's no good time for them to make those 6 plays.
But the issue, DP, is that they were big penalties. It wasn't like you're talking about a false start or an offside, 5-yarders or a legal procedure.
30-yarder.
You're talking about a 15-yard taunting, a 15-yard, roughing the passer, a 15-yard offensive pass interference, a 10-yard holding penalty after a big play. Those are crippling penalties.
Brutal.
And it has been a problem for this program, not just with Frost, with Mike Riley, it was Bo Pelini. It's been a problem for as long as I have watched them since the Solich days, post Solich.
I'm gonna say this, and I want to get to the Starter Hemi text line. We'll get to everybody's text so they can see what's going on. But I want to say this: there's an adage that we use in coaching. He says, "There's nothing wrong that a win won't cure." Like there's literally nothing going wrong here that a win won't cure, because it gives you the opportunity to reset. It gives you the opportunity to look forward. But if I had to ask myself what this team needs to do to correct what happened today.
Yep.
These are all correctable.
But we thought that last year, DP.
What I understand is that coaching never ends. Like we've seen those goofed up plays in college championships in every sport, right? Where somebody just goes, oof, like I just didn't get that done. But I thought it was all fixed. I hope that it can be fixed. I don't understand the depth chart and the player rotation. I don't understand it. Folks are going to have to help me understand how Wyatt Lever is better than Alante Brown and Xavier Betts.
We haven't seen. Yeah. Where was Betts today?
Like, I mean, just
where was
help
Betts
me
today?
out. Like, help me understand. There's some folks out here that'll be smarter than I am, but tell me how that is true.
This is sad. I forgot about Betts today. We didn't see him. You never saw Betts.
I saw him in pregame.
Yeah, that's the guy that was
an
important part of this team.
Yeah,
and you see Lee, that you had the drop touchdown pass. Was it not a great? It wasn't the best pass by Adrian, but DP that on that first down play in the red zone, that's a ball that should be caught, and it resulted in a field goal at the end. That's a ball that has to be caught.
The receiver coach and me jumped out of my chair.
Oh boy!
And I said some words that I will have to apologize for tomorrow morning.
No, we've all. I was there today too. You and me both.
Like that's yes. Adrian can make a better throw.
Yes, but that's a catchable ball. Your hands are both hands are on that.
Look, man.
Bring it in.
And then I'll ask the question. If you're throwing to a 6'1" receiver where height and athleticism is required, don't you have a couple of 6'3", 6'4" dudes that you could have ran that with? Are you telling me? Are you literally telling me that none of those big receivers that you couldn't put Austin Allen out there and throw that?
Speaking of Austin Allen, I know they didn't have Vokalek today, but the tight ends.
You're just trying to make me mad now.
I think he's talented. DP.
You're trying to make me mad.
I've spent the last 3 years on these airwaves for early break, for post-game shows, for pre-game shows, saying get the bleeping tight ends involved in this offense. We saw game 1 last year, DP. They play at Ohio State, and when they were in that game still, Jack Stoll was a very important part of that game. They stopped. He got injured. They stopped going to tight ends, and the game got out of hand with turnovers in Ohio State, realizing they're Ohio State. But still, if people are saying that you've got potential, I'm not saying they're drafted, but NFL level tight ends, then you have to find a way to get him involved and stop saying, Adrian, when the play falls apart, just run.
I kind of think that this coaching staff thinks of its elite athletes as fine china that only get broken out on rare occasions.
Yeah, I don't understand.
There's the everyday china, and then there are the guys that are so good that we only use them on Sunday. Right, and I don't understand it. And you can tell me that there's a trust factor involved with Matt Lubick and the receivers. But listen, bro, you need guys that can make plays. And if your guys aren't making plays, go to people who can make plays. Look, Adrian had 4 throws that I do not understand.
Yep.
I simply do not understand them.
Can I guess that one of those was the same drive I'm talking about where the pass was dropped in the end zone, and third and 5, they throw over the head of Austin Allen, which would have been short of the first down anyways.
Jake, how tall is Wyatt Lever?
I don't 6'1", maybe 6 foot.
Text line says he's 6'4".
6'4". I don't think so. I don't think so.
That's the reaction that I got.
Yeah, I don't think so.
That's what I was like. Wait a minute. Yeah, through all of it.
Let me look that one up real quick.
Yeah, please, and get it right.
Wyatt Lever. Well, it does say 6 foot.
He's 6'4".
I see 6'4". I don't know if I buy that. Did you buy that?
No, I've seen him in practice. I stood next to him. Okay. Stand corrected. Yeah, he's 6'4".
I don't know if I buy that.
Okay, that's what they're doing. Let's go through some of the text line so folks can vent and get it out of their chest and out of their soul. From the text line, Corey says, DP, what we learned today is the mistakes are not correctable under the staff. If it was going to happen, it was going to happen this offseason. I have not given up faith on this coaching staff, but I am asking more questions. And I'd like for those questions to be asked of them. Like asking Matt Lubick, what can we do? Like, can you fix? Ask Mario Vidusky. Like, how can we fix this thing? Because you should have an answer. Do you think that Scott Frost wants to coach here anymore? Seriously.
Yeah.
And I know this isn't good. Like,
Oh,
no,
man.
look, Scott wants to be here. He wants to be the hero that people have dubbed him with. I can't speak for him, and I won't. But most coaches will take this as a challenge and get to work.
Yeah.
Like, that's what I expect. I expect Scott to, punch a hole in the wall tomorrow, stand in front of it, and then challenge everybody, including himself.
Well, DP, hang on a second. This is what I'm pissed about today. This is we just heard this past week in the press conferences on Monday. Cam Taylor-Britt said this game was the Super Bowl for the team because they were pissed about last year's performance. I'm telling you what, like you said earlier, I saw that from the defense in the first quarter. You mentioned Feldarius Payne. Yes, Garrett Nelson made a nice play. Like, the defense was really pretty dang good in the first quarter. But why did that end there? They were not the same.
Stop doing it.
They stopped. You can't have your head on fire for 2 drives.
They didn't even run the same stunts that they were running.
I know, and they were working. The O-line was confused for Illinois.
Right? So through all of that, we understand, like, there's a big part of that, right? From the text line, this is one thing that we that was true before today and remains true. Adrian Martinez is fool's gold. I'll say this. The Adrian Martinez detractors can say whatever they want because Adrian did not correct them. He did not shut them up. He had the opportunity today to show out.
Sure did.
And he didn't. So guess what? Martinez detractors can go. Scott Frost detractors can go. Verduzco like, literally, there are very few people who stood up today and got done what they went to Champaign, Illinois to do.
Right. That's the problem.
Like, that's like, you could ask them to a man, to a room, and to a coach. Did you accomplish what you got on the plane to accomplish? Did you get it done? And the answer across the board, better be, needs to be, has to be, no. Because if you tell me otherwise, you're lying, and I can't take your word for worth anything.
Yep.
Right? Like, I think that, look, they were but there's this other thing. And they said, how many times does Martinez have to fail before moving on? What is the better option? What, are there Big Ten quarterbacks just hanging out at the Lincoln Airport?
Well, apparently Art Sitkowski was hanging out. He went to Illinois from Rutgers, DP.
Well, look, you had a shot. He made a choice.
Well, listen, let me ask you this. On that note, let me ask you this.
Uh-huh.
Okay, so when you're on the road, you take half your roster. So you at home, you get 150 players. They took 74 people out there, okay? Half the roster.
Correct.
They took all 4 quarterbacks.
Yes.
What was that odd to you? Was that showing, okay, if Adrian gets hurt, we have no idea who's going in at number 2?
Is Masker your
These are 4.
But, okay, so quarterbacks, a lot of that is operational.
Okay.
In that you need 2 quarterbacks. You want one in the coach's ear, and you need 2 to give signals and relay plays. One's a decoy, one's live. So there are teams that travel with 4. There are teams that travel with 5.
Really? That seems
travel with 5.
That seems extreme.
Well, in order for you to go through your pregame routine, you'll need 4 quarterbacks to get through your pregame routine.
All right.
Right? So if I need all my receivers to get passes the number and volume that I need, I may need 4 quarterbacks. It may be 3. Depends on the team. But who was left behind? Was Casey Rogers left behind on purpose?
Is there an injury there possibly or not?
Possibly.
There's some rumors there. I don't know what rumors are true and what are not, but there's a rumor there might be an injury there. But we don't know that for sure. Because they don't tell us about injuries at all. We don't know. We're in the dark, DP. We are in the dark.
See, that's the part where I told you I'm mad because I bought into radio silence as being okay. I've never been in a coaching room where coaching silence was the signal or byproduct of something good.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, Open book, open coach, successful coach.
What about Bill Belichick?
No, look, we know why Bill Belichick is just trying to make sure the skeleton bones don't fall out of his mouth.
That's true.
Like he was trying not to tell you how many cameras he had scouting on opposing teams.
Yep.
Like that's real talk. So what I hope, and the texter makes a great point. Glad I didn't fly to Ireland to watch this.
Oh,
can you imagine? For
forking over the dough for that?
People, can you imagine? Jake, what? Literally, would you have gotten on the plane?
Well, if I knew it was, I would have gone to Ireland if I didn't know what the result was going to be, just out of curiosity. What I'm concerned about now, this is a separate story, is that they're trying to sell packages for Ireland, and we're going to have advertising in our station for it. And I hope people still go. But if they go 3-9 this year, who's going to want to go see them play Northwestern next year?
I think you're going to go to.
I would like to go.
There's Guinness.
Yeah, I mean there's golf. If you lost, you could still be chugging beer.
Yeah, there's Guinness and golf.
There's reasons to
like
still
Ireland. You go to Dublin, you're going for the party. The game is just the reason in the vehicle.
It's just like in the way. You're like, okay, this is part. This is a 3.5 hour commitment I have in my week here.
It just means you drink more Guinness.
Yeah, it's like
this performance was a more Guinness performance. Like nobody drank less beer today because of this performance. But here's the beauty of college football. Tomorrow, this is over, and they get to focus on Memorial Stadium Saturday, 11 o'clock against Fordham. And in the next segment, I'll ask you, are there changes you would make? Jake, are there changes that you would make preparing next week for Fordham? Is there any position or room or group that needs to be addressed? And look, we can speak clearly. You didn't get from any group what you wanted.
Yeah.
So
no,
but you have the opportunity to turn it all around. Again, remember the quote. There's nothing wrong in Lincoln, Nebraska that a win won't cure. Because if you fix it for a week, you have the opportunity to get it right the next week. And that's the way we look at it. But, Jake, I'll ask you, first thing first, is there a change you would make Monday morning?
I don't know where you start at. Well, I'd say this, and I don't want to, this is not meant to be any sort of negative statement. I wasn't really impressed with what I saw from Gabe Irvin today. I think Marquise Stepp and his limited options ran harder than him, ran with more intent.
They ran different. Ran different.
And maybe Irvin, that was his first ever college game. I'm not going to say he can't be better, but I was disappointed in what I saw. Offensive line still wasn't very good. I don't know what change you make there. It wasn't good enough. Receivers, you mentioned some names. Can you give Alante Brown a chance? Is he that bad in practice?
Like what happened?
Why is Xavier Betts not seeing playing time? What am I missing here?
Like my mind was blown because I'm watching route combinations, and there were no wins in the route combination. And when there was, Adrian missed them. But this wasn't good. Like this, truth be told, this wasn't good. And I felt a little uncomfortable because I had bought in and I had some expectation.
Yeah.
Wrongly so, I had expectation. From the text line, I'm almost dreading the Fordham game because at best we will win and get some type of false hope that we're improving. At worst, we'll lose the Fordham game, and there goes the confidence. Look, you lose the Fordham game.
You're going 0-12.
You got to shut the building down.
You're going 0-12.
Like you got
straight up.
Look, you got to do some stuff. Believe it says it right. Martinez struggled today. That's the easiest statement to make.
His mechanics are off. It's the first game of the season. They're getting worse.
You hit it on the head there. There are two things that can take a quality young talent and mess it up. His head and his feet. It's not his arm. It's the mechanics and quarterbacks play from the ground up. Good quarterbacks play from the ground up. But then in his head, there's some trigger that is stopping him from making plays and putting the ball in play when he can.
You saw, the great throw downfield, the 40-yard pass to Oliver Martin that matched all they had at that distance of last year. I mean, they had one 40-plus yard play last year. That's so pathetic. They had that in the first game. That was a good throw, but it didn't happen enough. And I'd say again, he had
how many deep balls were thrown today?
He had a few, and he had the one that got called back because of offensive pass interference.
Which wasn't a pass
He also had the one that would have been probably a touchdown to Chris Hickman, I think, on the outside. I think that was at him, or whoever's going to. That was just overthrown. Horrendous mechanics.
Ooh. Yeah.
So I'd say, 4 or 5 deep balls?
Well, I mean, I can tell you, I talked to 6 offensive coordinators who watch Adrian Martinez, and they cannot figure out what's going on. They have zero logical explanation for why that talented young man is struggling. No answers. This is funny. Frost needs better coaches, older, more experienced at the Power 5 level. Look, Husker fans, you have permission, right, and freedom to request better from your coaching staff. That's why you do all the donations. This is why you show up at all the events, right? You guys write humongous checks so that you can get what you want. If you're writing a big check and this is getting what you want,
yeah,
you got too much money. You got too much money. We need to ask for better. We'll toward the break. When we come back, I do want to go through. I just point out we're going to be entertainers for the next hour, maybe a little bit longer. Text line, we want to thank you guys for contributing, adding to the show, giving us content, sticking with us on a very tough Saturday. Yes, we're going to tell the truth. Yes, we're going to look forward to Fordham. We can do both things and be honest about it and be fair about it. Jake Sorensen, thank you for holding it down for me till Jay gets here. Appreciate you, brother. We'll toward the break. We're live from Tanner's.
Tractor Supply Distribution Center in Waverly is now hiring for all shifts. They're a 24/7 facility and a clean environment to work in. There's potential to earn up to $25.25 per hour with opportunities for overtime. They also offer a retention bonus as new team members are eligible for a bonus as high as $1,000. Come be a part of the Tractor Supply team. Apply today at www.tractorsupply.jobs.
Are you dragging through each day? Most people are dehydrated or deficient in essential vitamins, minerals, and more. Live Hydration Spa helps you get more out of your life with their IV hydration treatments to help with anti-aging, weight loss, endurance, and more. Their performance packages can help you feel better doing your normal daily routine with boosts of energy and vitality, an increase in immunity, and quicker athletic recovery. Call today for an appointment at 402-413-2042 or walk in at 71st and Pioneers. Live Hydration Spa.
Hi, Sean Callahan here of HuskerOnline.com, inviting you to join us here on 93.7 The Ticket every Saturday morning now in our new time. We're on from 8 to 9 with the weekly Husker Online radio show. We'll give you the latest in recruiting. We'll talk about what's going on with both football, basketball, and we'll probably share a few stories from the inside. It's every Saturday morning right here on 93.7 The Ticket. It's the Husker Online radio show from 8 to 9 a.m.
Hello, Charlie Stone here, and joining me is Andy Goodyear, General Manager of Honda of Lincoln. Andy, are you there?
I sure am, Charlie. Great to talk to you again.
Andy, I know you're selling a lot of cars right now, but I hear you still have a lot of cars available.
We do, Charlie. In fact, we still have over 500 new 2021 Hondas to choose from in stock or on the way, with 0% APR financing available on select models.
What about new 2022 Hondas, Andy?
You know, we actually have quite a few in stock already, and they're arriving every day.
Now, I'm going to assume since you're selling a lot of new cars, you have some great trade-ins available too. How is the selection of pre-owned?
It's the largest selection of pre-owned we've ever had, Charlie, with over 160 to choose from. People can choose from just about any make and model you can imagine.
Thanks, Andy. Come experience the Honda of Lincoln way of doing business. 27th and Yankee Hill or online at hondaoflincoln.com.
Take a look at your backyard. Does it feel like something is missing? You're right. Now is the perfect time to get an above-ground swimming pool from Bonzal Pool and Spa. Above-ground pools require less space than in-ground pools, are temporary structures if you ever choose to move, and are low maintenance. Plus, you'll never have to worry about the kids getting bored in the summertime anymore. Visit bonsalpool.com to schedule a pool service or visit them at 33rd and Highway 2. Bonsall Pool and Spa.
We're in this together, and we will get through this together. The vaccines are tested effective and needed.
Welcome to the clinic with Charm.
Get your COVID-19 vaccine so we can do this. And this. And this.
We are now boarding flight.
Together again, because we got through it together. This message sponsored by the Helmsley Charitable Trust, aired with the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and the station.
Back to the Ticket Postgame with Jay Foreman on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
As the song says, this is how we do it. We're getting a young Husker ready. Yeah, you got to put the jersey on, put the helmet on, strap up, take the picture. We expect it to be on Instagram and Twitter immediately. Future Huskers are born. They're not made. Future Huskers are born. This dude's built for it. There we go. There we go. This is how we get out. There we go. There we go. It does. They all see. That's how you know what you're destined for. That's what you know what you're destined for. We're live at Tanner's. We'll be here till 7:30. We do it for all the folks in the room. Since you have made it into the second hour, you can now add your name again to the raffle. You made it the second hour. You can add your name to the raffle. We'll give away the Tommy Fraser jersey at 7:30 at the end of the segment. So we'll take care of that. We're live at Tanner's 30th and Yankee Hill. Jake, I made a joke before the show that tomorrow morning John Cook will announce that he's taking over the football program. But he's not going to coach the guys. He's just going to take the women from volleyball team over, and they're just going to play for them next week. So
no, I do all right.
Safe to say, right? So Kiana Leakana's got to be the quarterback, right?
Yeah.
Right? I mean,
I think so.
She's going to quarterback and she's going to run it, right? Who do you want at running back? I kind of think Kinsey Knuckles would make a really good.
Probably a good choice.
Right? We going I back, or do you need like a fullback?
I don't need a fullback. I'm going
Don't need a fullback.
Don't need a fullback.
So 4 pass catchers. You need 4 pass catchers. Now, my question is, if you're going to go big outside, you're going to go long, then maybe you move Lexi Sun to running back.
Well, yeah, maybe. She's
right.
Can she be your deep threat?
Well, I imagine she can run.
Is she your slot receiver, your deep threat?
I think of her as kind of a Lynn Swan type receiver,
Swan.
right?
Okay, yeah. Well, she's got to be a receiver. Then.
Graceful,
yeah,
dignified, right? But who's on the other? Like, so Lauren Stivrins is your Austin Allen, right? So you're going to put her in the slot on one side.
For sure.
Right? Opposite her, we need somebody that will mesh with her. So it's probably it's got to be Nicklin Hines.
Yeah.
It's got to be Nicklin, right?
Probably,
and then outside, you need deep threats to go. Who you got? Kayla Caffey, maybe?
Yeah.
Maybe some Maddie Kubik?
She'd be a good choice.
Callie Schwarzenbach? Well, you do that, right?
The thing is, you got a lot of options here.
Well, they got depth.
These girls are all studs.
They've got depth.
They can all contribute, make plays.
What we know is they're going to compete, they're going to be prepared, and they know how to win. And we need for them to go to practice and talk to the football team.
Can I give you some news real quick?
Please do. Please do.
Speaking of that Husker volleyball team, they provided the good news of the day for the state. It was a rough start. Isaac Trout at 10:30 this morning committed to Virginia out of Grand Island, so you lost him. Creighton in Nebraska lost him to Virginia.
You lost him.
Yeah.
I'm happy.
All right.
Wahoo, wah. Come on.
Yeah, you're happy. Yeah,
look,
you
I'm
are
happy.
happy. All right,
Look, I don't know what you're
Mr.
talking about.
Virginia over here. He's a happy guy.
Look, I don't know what you're talking about. Don't you steal my joy, Jake Sorensen.
Yeah, well, I'm unhappy, as is the state. So that was 0 for 1. Then football, of course, loses 30-22 to Illinois. But Nebraska volleyball wins in 4 sets against Kansas State at Devaney Center. They won the first 2 sets. They got smoked in set 3, but you know what? They bounced back, but deficit in set 4. They win it 3-1. So they help this state not have a completely miserable last Saturday.
Is this a volleyball
August.
school? Is that? Are we officially a volleyball school?
To me to be a volleyball.
We're a volleyball school now, right?
Yeah,
it's kind of how that works. I hate to say it, but I mean it's true, right? It's a volleyball school.
Yeah, it's
Brad
at
from
least.
Baldwin asked the question on the text line. He said, "This job was spiraling downward too fast to bring a rookie staff with you. They had success at UCF, but that was 1 season. He didn't need his buddies to help rebuild this. He needed mature, experienced coaches to help build this thing." He wants our thoughts. Jake, give me your thoughts on, was the coaching staff that Scott brought too young, too inexperienced?
It's starting to appear that way. Let me say this. I really think that a guy that got hammered his first year or two, Eric Shenander, I'm not saying he is a phenomenal DC. I think he's respectable as a defensive coordinator. I think that obviously they lost a little bit of their minds in the second half. They had a really bad first drive in the second half, but I feel like the defense is okay. The offensive staff is just really depressing right now. I don't want to take shots at any guy and say that one is not doing their job, but
nobody did their job.
This offense just continues to revert back and just not make progress. I thought that the first year, the way they ended it, I thought Verduzco was doing a good job with Martinez. We haven't seen the development there. We haven't seen a running back take off with Ryan Held's group. Greg Austin's group has been continually underwhelming, to say the least. So I guess I would have to say, yeah, were they ready for this job? Did they get a big head because they went undefeated and beat an SEC school to end their last game at UCF? Possibly, but wouldn't you have been humbled by now?
That part, Jake Sorensen, the humbling. Is it common belief or agreement that he needs to be humble? Does this coaching staff need to be humble?
Haven't they not been humbled already? If they're not humbled now, when are they going to be humbled? What's it take to get
today would have done it, right?
What does it take to get humbled?
Today would have done it. Look, any coaching staff I'm on that loses to Illinois, guess what? Humbled. I got work to do.
Better be at least.
I got work to do, right? Deeply. I got work to do. Also on the text line, Bob says, Frost is loyal to a fault. He's loyal to a staff that doesn't belong in a Power 5 conference. And he's loyal to a quarterback with a 50-cent head. I'll ask you, how much of that is true?
Right. A lot of it, probably. It feels like a lot of it.
Like, I'm trying to figure out what the conversation is, not tonight, because the wounds are fresh, the bleeding is still going on, but tomorrow morning when the bruising starts and the healing starts, what the conversation is. Because the rooms that I've been in where you take a loss that you don't think you should have taken as a coaching staff, reassessment is mandatory. Like, there has to be a redirect. You can't go into Monday's practice and think that all is good. Like, what do you expect? Let me ask you this. You have an insider friend. If you could get him a question to ask Monday morning, what would it be? Like,
where do you start at, DP? Where do you start at?
Just give me one. Let's start with that. Give me one.
I'm asking who am I asking here?
Your insider. You got friends that you got people in high places.
So people that are watching the practices or what?
People in high places, people that have a voice, that get to talk to the coaching staff, they get to talk to the players, guys that are in the room. Yeah.
Where do I start? Do I start with do I start with the offensive line? Like how they looking in practice?
I'm sorry.
Are they winning?
Jake paused this question. I just have to tell you from the text line. The listeners know that I'm a huge Ted Lasso fan.
Okay.
And OG Les Lancaster says Scott needs to watch Ted Lasso. Yes, he does. Yes, he does. He also needs his assistant coach like his buddy. Go for it.
Well, what Blanket just texted in also is important here. I don't know. This is not something that you can know how it works in practice because you don't have the ability to do a halftime adjustment at practice. But that has been a
yes. You do.
How do you do that?
Yes, you do.
How
You
do you do
said,
that?
look, you make everything a competition. We go on the clock, put everybody on the sideline, and say, listen, we've got 3 minutes to change personnel, formation, scheme, attack, and mission. And you do it several times, and you don't put it in the schedule. You just blow the whistle. The coaches know. The players don't.
Well, that's something that's not occurring then because this team, DP, if you go back to all the years he's been here, they have been historically very, very poor out of halftime. And they couldn't afford that today because all the momentum going into halftime was with Illinois after they had a fumble 6 for a touchdown to take the lead.
Well, if you
if
you give me a scoop and score right before half, and then you allow me to hit your quarterback 2 times right before they go on, guess what? Ain't much you can say at halftime because them players don't believe you anyway. What are you going to tell Adrian Martinez at halftime? He just picked his head up. He was looking through his ear hole trying to figure out what was going on. He had no protection. He had no help. So what are you going to tell him other than we'll do better?
Well,
nothing you can tell him.
But here's the issue is that it feels like to me, and maybe, correct me if I'm wrong on this, DP, when it comes to offensive adjustments at halftime,
right?
The adjustment is let's run Adrian Martinez more. Whatever we were committed to in the first half, screw that, scratch it out. We're going to run Adrian again. And that we talked about how important it is to establish the run game with the running backs. And they just fail to commit to it and try, and they start panicking. And Adrian, I know, is a very tempting weapon. He's a fantastic runner, but you just can't run him all the time.
Who was Nebraska's lead runner his first year here?
Divine Ozigbo.
Okay.
And he went over 1,000 yards.
Was that a product of the player, the coach, or the system?
I'd say the player, maybe.
Okay.
Not the coach, I don't think.
Okay.
Because that was his best year, I'd say that was his best year at Nebraska. And that's why there was a lot of hope for the future about, running back, we can get those guys here, number one. Number two, they're going to be an important part of our offense. And it just has not been that way.
And you didn't help yourself recruiting today either.
No, you did not. The nation was watching you lose to Illinois.
Either. I want to give one of the listeners a shout out because he's been consistent in reminding me to be honest and truthful about what I see and what I say. I want to say thank you to Wet Blanket because he's been constantly saying, DP, listen, it's easy for you to get on board with the local thread of saying all's well. Like, what's the meme of the kid who's got the little look on his face, but he's crying and he goes, I'm fine, but he's not really fine, right? Like the kid knows he's in deep water, but he's going to tell you he's fine. And Wet Blanket's been constantly saying, DP, look, you know better. Like, don't do it. Don't do it. And as I told you before, I got mad at myself because I bought in to simply playing along rather than telling the truth. He makes a point. He says, was Marquis Step on a pitch count? It seemed that way, didn't it?
Well, I thought he ran pretty well when he was in the game, so I'd hope it's a pitch count. I hope for the sake of the program to explain that he was on a pitch count because he looked pretty good when he ran the ball to me. Like that touchdown he had, he was physical in that.
Well, he does wheel route. He gets third.
Yeah, right, the wheel route. I forgot about that.
He punches in the score.
Yep, exactly.
And we don't highlight the guy. Like if somebody's hot, like that's coaching basics. Feed the hot hand. Even with what you do. And I wasn't sure what the mission was. I'm not sure what was on the board. And look, the players believed in whatever they were told before the game. The players had fully bought it. And a part of my buying in was listening to players say things to me that said they felt good about the information they were given. They felt good about the work they were putting in. And they felt good about what they were being told. But what we found out was we were all wrong.
Yep.
We were all wrong. And there were no answers. Like, there were literally no answers. They had zero answers to all this stuff in play. This was Illinois. This is Illinois.
This
We're
is
not talking
one of the easier teams on your schedule that has a brand new system in play.
This wasn't Ohio State. Look, if you were down 18 points to Ohio State, most people would go, okay, we can battle. This was Illinois, bro, with a new coach in his first game. And I would ask you, here's the question I was asked yesterday. I'll ask you now. Before the game, if you had said, which Illinois players would you take on Nebraska's team and trade? And I had a very short list.
Right.
If you ask me that now, that's a different conversation.
Yeah, reactionary to what you didn't, there is reason. They had some guys back. They had a lot of guys back that were from last year, but again, those were not successful players. That was a team that was losing a lot of games. So, yeah, it's great to have returning talent, but they're used to losing. They don't know how to win. So it's hard for me to sit here and agree with you and say, yeah, I take a bunch of guys because I'm with you. It's hard to know who you'd even want to take off that team.
Were we wrong in the importance level that we put on this game?
No, I put it extreme. I've been saying since February it's the most important game of the season. They just lost it. This is, to me, DP. Maybe you think I'm wrong on this, but I said it earlier. I'll say it again. This, to me, is a very fragile team that has not experienced success, that needed to win today to believe they could do something this year that was going to warrant them making a bowl game. And now all that is going to creep in their minds is more doubt and disbelief. And that's why I believe that, again, I hope I'm wrong. I hope they figure it out against Fordham and go beat Buffalo and compete against Oklahoma. But I have every reason to believe that cannot happen, or that won't happen.
What percentage of faith do you have that this team is 2-1 going to Norman, Oklahoma, and then they actually stand up and get a win against Oklahoma?
Well, if I'm doing all those together, 20%. That might be generous.
Ooh, Sipple's cousin just hit a bomb on the text line. If Scott Frost loses 2 more games, he'll match the total number of losses Nick Saban currently has at Alabama. Nick Saban's Bama record is 165-23. Frost is 12-21. Frost would have to go 153-2 over the next 155 games. That's just brutal.
If that happens, DP, we're talking about a big old statue outside. I'll build that statue.
Yeah.
We're talking about a bunch of national championships in a row.
Oh, we'll help fundraise for that.
Yeah, I will easily do that.
We're on the path to 153-2. That's what we're on the way for. Let's get our nickels together and do that. We'll throw it to break. We're live at Tanner's 30th and Yankee Hill. We'll be here until about 7:30 or so. We may go long. Depends on how this is. Again, we've got, for the folks who just walked in, we're raffling off this signed Tommy Frazier jersey. Get your name in the box. We'll give it away at 7:30. So at the end of that 7:30 segment, doesn't cost you a thing.
It's free.
It is just our way of saying thank you for coming out and hanging out with us on a Saturday in the post game. So the box is right here on the table. Have at it. Come on in. Come say hi. We'll throw it a break. Hey, more to break down. We'll be right back.
At Beatrice Bakery, it's not just our headline fruitcakes that are worth shouting about. Every single cake that leaves our factory is handmade and packed with passion. There's the most important cake of the day in our breakfast breads, the classic coffee cake, liqueur cake, and you can even choose kosher and no added sugar alternatives. Visit them in Beatrice at 201 South 5th Street or find them all right now at beatricebakery.com. They'll deliver anywhere. Beatrice Bakery, welcome to our world of yum.
Every time the back door closes, it squeaks and reminds me of how I used to go out back for a cigarette 2-3 times a day. When I was stressed, when I was hungry, when I was bored. But then I think of how the stale taste lingered in my mouth, and I reach into my purse and pop a stick of gum. And the craving is gone.
Call the Nebraska Tobacco Quit Line, 1-800-QUIT-NOW, 1-800-784-8669. Paid for by Tobacco Free Nebraska. Aired with the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and this station.
Are you dragging through each day? Most people are dehydrated or deficient in essential vitamins, minerals, and more. Live Hydration Spa helps you get more out of your life with their IV hydration treatments to help with anti-aging, weight loss, endurance, and more. Their performance packages can help you feel better doing your normal daily routine with boosts of energy and vitality, an increase in immunity, and quicker athletic recovery. Call today for an appointment at 402-413-2042 or walk in at 71st and Pioneers. Live Hydration Spa.
Action Plumbing, Heating, Air, and Electric is your go-to service call in Lincoln and Southeast Nebraska for expertise, convenience, and reliability. As your home and business needs expand, so do the services Action can deliver. Now positioned as Southeast Nebraska's premier installer of charging stations for electronic vehicles, they're always committed to a job done right. Give them a call or visit their website at actionlincoln.com. Action, your proud sponsor of the Ticket Postgame Show.
Hey, sports fans. Rico here with HIS Auto Care 70th and Van Dorn. Carfax recently awarded us as a top-rated auto service center for 2020, and Lincoln Choice Awards voted us as the 2021 top independent auto repair center. Call us at 402-488-8934 for superior service bumper to bumper. Mention this ad and get 7% off. Doesn't get any better than that. Rico for his Auto Care 70th and Van Dorn. God bless you.
Need a better job? Looking for a career? Gaina Trucking and Excavating is what you're looking for. They are a rapidly growing company looking for a heavy mechanic. Gaina Trucking and Excavating offers a team culture with lots of benefits, including 401k, health, annual raises, paid vacation, holidays, and much more. It's a great career opportunity. Want to love what you do? Join the Gaina Trucking team. Apply online at www.gainatrucking.com. That's www.gainatrucking.com.
State Farm, this is Bill.
It finally got me, Bill.
What's that, Rick?
The Clark Street crater, the mother of all potholes.
Oh.
Year after rim-wrecking year, it's tormented the people of this town. It got me good.
But you know, State Farm's got you too.
You hear that? You ain't nothing.
You trash talking a pothole?
Yes, I am.
Go with the one that's here to help life go right. State Farm.
Call your local State Farm agent, Vinny Krekak, at 402-474-1173.
In every office, there's two types of people. There are those who bring in bagels and those who eat the bagels that someone else brought in. Everybody likes the first person. Be that first person. Weekday mornings at 7:30, you have a chance to win a business box of bagels from Bagels & Joe. All you have to do is shut up, Sipple. 2 questions for you, 2 for Sip. Win, and the bagels are yours. Lose, well, you don't want to lose.
You lost Monday, you lost Wednesday, you're a loser.
Shut up, Sipple. Weekday mornings at 7:30, brought to you by Bagels & Joe.
Hey, it's Sean Callahan, and football season is here, and there is one place that has all the games, plus great food and beer specials. Tanner's Bar and Grill at 30th and Yankee Hill. Whether it's Thursday night football, college football Saturdays, NFL Sundays, or Monday night football, there's a great view of the game from any seat with different food and drink specials every night. Try the Blue Ribbon Reuben Sandwich or the Prime Rib French Dip or any of their famous chicken wings. That's Tanner's Bar and Grill at 30th and Yankee Hill.
Back to the Ticket Postgame with Jay Foreman on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
A disappointing, I think Fair is calling it disappointing.
Yes.
Lost to Illinois in Champaign, and I'm trying not to go too far into the X's and O's, but the numbers don't really do a service to the game. Most of the numbers are even. Like when you look at the stat sheet will tell you that Nebraska outgained Illinois 392 to 326. Passing yards, 232 to 159. Rushing yards, almost even, 167 to 160.
With the 75-yard pop.
Mm-hmm. Huskers average 5.5 yards a play, Illinois 5 yards a play. 19 first downs apiece. Third down efficiency, 5 of 14 versus 5 of 13. Fourth down efficiency, Huskers were 1 and 2. Illinois was 1 for 1. Total plays, Nebraska 72, Illinois 67. 5 punts for the Huskers, 6 for Illinois. 5 penalties for the Huskers for 67 yards, 2 penalties for 30 for the Fighting Illini. Both teams lost a fumble. Time of possession, Illinois 33-53, Huskers 26-07. But it's those numbers, other numbers that we can talk about. Missed extra points. We got to talk about them both. Those are rally killers. Those are momentum killers. The punt return mistake and then pending safety, big, huge. The fumble, scoop, and score, that's huge. The roughing the passer and then the unsportsmanlike, which I need to highlight because it wasn't just the hit. It was the taunt after the hit that took them out of Illinois territory into Nebraska's territory and at a greater disadvantage. So the numbers tend to mean what folks need for them to mean. But Jake, we have to talk about the elephant in the room. How do I put this as kindly as I can put it? What's the point spread against Fordham? Because before the game, the spread was 29.
Okay. I still bet it's about 19 or something like that. 18, 19.
This cost them a lot. Remember, Huskers were favored. They were plus 7 today.
7 favorite, yeah.
Plus 7.
Uh-huh.
And here's the other elephant. You have lost in your last 3 games, right? You've lost to Illinois twice. No Big Ten team should ever have to say out loud that they lost to Illinois 2 in a row.
Especially when Illinois has won 3 games out of the last 10, and 2 of them are against you. They're against you. That means you're the bottom feeder. The bottom feeder.
It's just, wow. Wow.
Can I read a quote for you real quick from Scott Frost post-game?
Please.
Just saw this. All right. I just lost me. Pulled up. Okay. Here it is. He says, quote, "The guys really believe they're better. They know they're better. They are better. We have more talent. We have more depth. Sometimes I feel like we're snake bit."
Well, loyalty often looks that way.
Uh-huh.
Right? Like loyalty, blind loyalty looks that way. It's one thing to be lovingly faithful to an idea and a concept. But if that thing isn't serving you, look, I've never been in a program where I was 12-21 and felt like my job was safe. But that's just me. And I'm not on the team of where I'm the kind of guy that says you need to fire a quarterback, you need to fire a coach or change. No. From competition's sake, and this is about competition. This is about winning now. Look, you can love Scott Frost, but you cannot love being 12-21.
No,
like you can't.
You can't defend 12-21.
No, you can't. You can't love it. If you're a Husker fan and you're smiling about being 12-21, I don't know. I can't help you.
Well,
that's bigger than me. Like you need therapy. Somebody need to love you.
Here's something
like that. Yeah. That's too much.
This needs to be said because it's the common excuse for the people that defend Scott Frost, and it goes out the window as of today. You want to know why?
Please.
I'll tell you why. If there was a culture issue at Illinois before with Lovie Smith, I'm not sure there was, but obviously they weren't very good.
Mm-hmm.
Their first game, they just beat a Big Ten team on their home turf with a new coach. So if you're going to say it takes a long time to fix a culture, I would say BS. Look what just happened here. Also, I'd say the same thing. A great, I'm not saying Bielema was a great coach. He's a good coach. I think he's a very good coach.
He's won 3 Big Ten championships.
Okay. So he's a very good coach.
That's enough for me.
I'd say this too. Urban Meyer, his first year at Ohio State, DP, they couldn't even go to a bowl game. They had sanctions. They had gone 6-7 the previous year. His first year, they go 12-0. Like, don't tell me about culture. It doesn't take years to fix culture. You are part of the culture problem.
I was taught this.
I don't want to ever hear that again.
I was taught this in college, and it still rides with me. And I had a professor that said, if to get a full vision of a culture, look at its garbage. Look at its trash. And this program has trash in it.
Yep.
And you can tell me it's good, but the stench and the smell, tells me that it's not. We'll throw it to break. I'm just saying we'll throw it to break. When we come back, we've got a lot to pile in this last half hour, so we're going to get at it. You want to do one segment or two? What do you think?
You could do probably one long one. Maybe
we'll see
how it goes.
We have endurance.
Yeah.
Let's get
We'll
after
see how
it.
it goes.
We're live at Tanner's. You have 30 minutes to get down here. The signed Tommy Fraser jersey will be given out at the end of the next segment.
State Farm, this is Bill.
It finally got me, Bill.
What's that, Rick?
The Clark Street crater, the mother of all potholes.
Oh.
Year after rim-wrecking year, it's tormented the people of this town. It got me good.
But you know, State Farm's got you too.
You hear that? You ain't nothing.
You trash talking a pothole?
Yes, I am.
Go with the one that's here to help life go right. State Farm.
Call your local State Farm agent, Vinny Krekak, at 402-474-1173.
Hey, sports fans. Rico here with HIS Auto Care 70th and Van Dorn. Carfax recently awarded us as a top-rated auto service center for 2020, and Lincoln Choice Awards voted us as the 2021 top independent auto repair center. Call us at 402-488-8934 for superior service bumper to bumper. Mention this ad and get 7% off. Doesn't get any better than that. Rico for his Auto Care 70th and Van Dorn. God bless you.
At Beatrice Bakery, it's not just our headline fruitcakes that are worth shouting about. Every single cake that leaves our factory is handmade and packed with passion. There's the most important cake of the day in our breakfast breads, the classic coffee cake, liqueur cake, and you can even choose kosher and no added sugar alternatives. Visit them in Beatrice at 201 South 5th Street or find them all right now at beatricebakery.com. They'll deliver anywhere. Beatrice Bakery, welcome to our world of yum.
Action Plumbing, Heating, Air, and Electric has been serving Lincoln and Southeast Nebraska for over 50 years. They've been a trusted name to deliver honest, quality services you can count on. It's always important to know someone you can trust, whether it's for your home or your business. Action is well established and offers convenience and reliability, always committed to a job done right. Give them a call or visit their website at actionlincoln.com. Action, your proud sponsor of the Ticket Postgame Show.
At Koppel, you can shop online for the most affordable crossovers, SUVs, cars, and trucks. They have new Chevrolet and GMC or used inventory, all at your fingertips. Hi, I'm Sean Callahan, and before I got my car at Koppel, I shopped online at koppelcars.com. I found a vehicle I liked, then I drove that money-saving mile to Koppel in Louisville. You should too. It was just minutes from I-80 or at koppelcars.com.
Monday nights are now famous for something else. Powerball. That's right. Powerball is adding Monday nights to the lineup, so you have more days to play. Plus, with a starting jackpot in the millions, you don't want to pass up this chance to score a bundle of money. Get pumped for Powerball with drawings Monday, Wednesday, and Saturday.
Powerball from the Nebraska Lottery. Top prize odds 1 in 292 million.
Hey, it's Sean Callahan, and football season is here, and there is one place that has all the games, plus great food and beer specials. Tanner's Bar and Grill at 30th and Yankee Hill. Whether it's Thursday night football, college football Saturdays, NFL Sundays, or Monday night football, there's a great view of the game from any seat with different food and drink specials every night. Try the Blue Ribbon Reuben Sandwich or the Prime Rib French Dip or any of their famous chicken wings. That's Tanner's Bar and Grill at 30th and Yankee Hill.
Need a better job? Looking for a career? Gaina Trucking and Excavating is what you're looking for. They are a rapidly growing company looking for a heavy mechanic. Gaina Trucking and Excavating offers a team culture with lots of benefits, including 401k, health, annual raises, paid vacation, holidays, and much more. It's a great career opportunity. Want to love what you do? Join the Gaina Trucking team. Apply online at www.gainatrucking.com. That's www.gainatrucking.com.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com. On the internet. KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket. Back to the Ticket postgame with Jay Foreman on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Final segment, and again, we thank the folks who have been active on the Starter Heyman text line 464-5685. We're live at Tanner's. We'll be here for another half hour or so. From the text line, I'll read one and you read the other. Joe says you guys should probably get better turnouts if you started giving away Husker bowling shoes. A lot of these fans these days don't even know who Tommy Frazier is. Raise your kids better.
Yeah.
Raise your kids better.
That's your own fault.
Raise your kids better. That's bad parenting. That's bad parenting. If your kids don't know who Tommy Frazier is.
If you're living in the state, you better know who Tommy Frazier is.
Work that out. Shame on you. Shame on you all. Jake, read the other one.
Yeah, this one, again, wet blanket's been a very important part of the station all the time. And this is a great text here, 464-5685. He says, I am screaming at my radio. Going back to
he's old school because he actually has a radio.
That's right.
He's actually listening on a radio.
Yeah. The quote I had said about what's Scott Frost saying there might be snake bit. He said, okay, I am screaming at my radio. Fielding punts at the 1 yard line is not being snake bitten. Calling an open backfield quarterback run on 3rd and 2 is not snake bitten. Giving up a 14-play touchdown drive at a halftime is not snake bitten. Having 4 consecutive possessions with negative total yards is not snake bitten. You can't fix a problem if you don't believe it exists. Wet blanket has spoken.
I agree with that. And I would add to that. That you aren't protected in it. See, to have all of that happen and then be protected from consequences of running a team and a program that way. Because if the fan base stood up and said no, then it wouldn't be accepted. Everything in sports is either coached or allowed.
Okay.
It's either taught or allowed. And programs work from that. Communities work from that. It's either taught or allowed. And everything that's going on in this program, you ready?
Yep.
Is either taught or allowed. You can get it right. But at some point, somebody has to say, stop teaching that nonsense and stop allowing that nonsense. Because, look, somebody's in charge. Somebody's handled well, right? And I'll say this. You can't put people on the field who don't know the basic concepts of football. Playing Power 5 football, look, you of all the 150 kids you have, including walk-ons, you can't find somebody to stand back there at 10-yard line and be smart enough to know not to field that thing?
Yep.
Captain or not, somebody needs to be able to get that right.
That's right.
And in 3 years, if you haven't figured out how to get Adrian Martinez to hit a guy in the flat, it might be the program. It might be the program. See, I'm not going to blame Martinez for the things that he was either taught or allowed to do.
Right. So,
look, there's a coach who gets paid to teach, and then there are bad coaches who will allow nonsense to happen. And look, the real owners of this program are the fan. It's the fan base.
Yep.
And
we are the shareholders.
Look, a third of the fan base says that it can do no wrong, and they don't want to hear anything bad about it. They don't want to know anything bad about it. Other third of the fan base wants the truth and only the truth. And then there's another third that goes either way depending on a win or a loss. But if you're 12-21, that middle third is leaning heavily, bro. Like, you can't protect 12-21.
Yep.
So that's just me.
What do you think about this? This text from Jason O says on the same note as you're saying, you get the results that you tolerate.
Okay. So, Jake, the first time you came to Tanner's, did you know where it was?
No.
So you had to put it in GPS.
That's right.
And the GPS will tell you what? It'll tell you how long it takes to get there. It tells you the best direction to get there, all the turns you need to make. And if you decide to do something stupid, your GPS does what, Jake? GPS tells you, hey, Jake, you said you were going to Tanner's. It looks like you're going somewhere else.
You made the wrong turn, brother.
Hey, should we reroute? Should we recalculate? But that's not happening in a 12-1 program. That didn't happen today. There were zero adjustments. And I'm not counting putting Marquis Stepp in for Gabe Irvin.
Right.
I'm not counting that.
Right.
But I think there's simplicity in if fans are cool with winning, going 12-21, then okay, we ain't got to talk about it anymore. But to me, that seems a little weird.
Yep. From the text line, someone says the snake pit comment from Frost is further proof that Frost is too delusional to believe a single word from his mouth. That's not a good. You don't want to say snake pit when, like this, as Wet Blanket pointed out, the things you did were so avoidable and fixable. And you, like you said, DP, these things we asked for to fix are minor things that become so major because they don't get fixed and it loses you ball games. Don't tell me snake bit. That's on your own accord.
The keeper of the program wouldn't say that I'm snake bit. Like, what would you say to a woman that said, I'm not a bad dater, I'm just snake bit?
I'd say you're a bad dater.
Yeah, you're a bad dater.
No,
like,
I hate to tell you, you're a bad dater, man.
You know, that's what that is. Like, I have horrible taste in men, and I'm on a bad streak. You're not snake bit. You got a problem.
That's you. That's a you problem.
It's a you thing.
There's no snake involved here.
Somebody asked a question. He said, Bird in Columbus says, is Verduzco too hot a topic for you, for us? Chilling over here at the Pawnee Plunge. Bring the heat on Weirdo Mario. Listen, I'll say this as simply as I can say this. Mario is an accumulation of the players who play for him. And all of the results that have happened under his watch, Mario is accountable for. There's simplicity in that. Look, if you're making 3, you know who doesn't have questions about their quarterbacks? Alabama.
Nope.
Clemson.
Nope.
Right?
Heck no.
Like, all of those dudes are going to the league. Notre Dame, they're going to the league. Right? They're going to the league. What does the result and the accumulation of Mario Verduzco's work tell you? What do they tell you? It tells you that something isn't right. Something doesn't work, and you better fix it. And look, we're talking 12-21. In 32 games, you haven't figured it out? I don't know any job in the country that I've ever had that if for 32 games in my career I didn't get it right, that I would keep the job. There are zero jobs in this country that I, as a coach, I could go 12-21 and keep. And that goes for anybody on the staff because they're all accountable. Right? They're all accountable.
That's right.
So, listen. Okay, so for the folks in the room, we'll tell you this. We're going to raffle off the Tommy Frazier jersey in about 18 minutes. So if your name's not in the box, make sure sometime between now and 7:30 you get your name in the box. You don't have to purchase anything to get it. That's just simply 93.7 The Ticket's way of saying thank you. Tanner's way of saying thank you for coming out and spending time on a Saturday. Again, this is a tough Saturday to be here.
It is.
Right? But folks are here.
We're not happy and partying today.
Right? Believer says if you catch the ball on the goal line, then toss it out of the end zone, that isn't coaching. Yes, it is.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, it is.
Look.
Yeah, it is.
Look, I'll say this. The first thing that I say to my returners is, listen, here are the rules. And if you break the rules, you don't get the job.
He didn't go back there again, did he? Oh, yeah.
I didn't have
He did return a punt again. He did, yeah.
They put him back. Look.
They did have a chance, yep.
And that's your captain. And we're not saying he's a bad football player. He just made a terrible decision. But I also ask you, are you telling me of the other 149 players who go to practice every day and have for the last at least 9 months, Nobody knows? You don't have anybody on that roster who can return punts wisely and safely.
I'd have to think that I'd have to say there's got to be somebody, and that was extremely disheartening to see that in that moment.
Well, we did all the conversation, Jake, about you bringing a guy who's going to specialize in special teams, right? We're going to open practice every day with special teams. We're going to focus and feature special teams. But here's the thing about habits. Habits are a consistent and constant trail of what you do versus what you say. And then you ask the question, why does it keep happening? And what are you doing about it? Look, somebody says, who's the next coach? Listen, you have a coach. That's your coach. Until he's not. That ain't none of my business. The results of the game is what we're talking about. The results of the day, the results of the last 3 seasons. That's what we're talking about. This isn't personal. This isn't personal against Scott Frost. I'm not talking about the man. I'm talking about the coach. I'm talking about the record. I'm not saying anything about Scott Frost, the man. I'm talking about the coach. And the record says there's a problem that you need to fix. Right?
Yep.
I believe it says. I know that, and I didn't even play D1. Jim says the only thing that can save this program is that the coaching staff can figure out how to maintain their calm when adversity hits. The camera pans the coach every now and then, and something you can see them complaining. Yeah. Wasn't there a coach here who got fired because he didn't handle game time energy the right way?
Wonder who that could have been.
Right? Wasn't there a guy who said, listen, we don't care how much you win. If you can't handle the pressure, we need a different dude.
Yep.
Okay. And let me repeat this again for folks in the text line who don't know me and how I get down. I'm a grown-up. I'm a grown man. But I'm not taking shots at anybody, and I'm certainly not allowing anybody to take shots at me. Text line is a courtesy. So you can be heard and you can get your thoughts out. But it's not, this is not, hit the pin. This is not you with a pinata. Don't take shots. That's beneath you. Don't do that. Simple deal. Simple deal. Okay, so Jake, we're at the point where we get to say, was there a Husker player who left today feeling okay?
Yes.
Who?
Feldarius Payne.
Fair.
Feldarius Payne had 2 sacks in the first half. Yeah,
Fair.
almost the third one, actually. I'd say, he's going to be disappointed in the loss and how the defense didn't do well to start the second half. But Feldarius Payne had 2 incredible plays today. I'd say him, possibly. And beyond that, no. No.
Right.
And by the way, Feldarius is a friend of the station. Feldarius, our guy. We gave him good juju.
Oliver Martin.
Yeah, Oliver Martin was solid today. I thought that deep play was nice. He had some catches. He didn't mess up on punt return when he had the chance. I'd say maybe, yeah. I think he's certainly a candidate for that.
Okay.
Is that the only 2 we have?
Marquise Stepp.
Didn't do enough.
Not his choice.
I know.
He doesn't call plays.
I know. I'm not saying his fault.
He can't go in the huddle and say, Adrian, give me the ball.
For what Marquise Stepp did, I thought it was good, but it wasn't enough. They didn't give him the ball enough, and that's obviously a personnel decision and a staff decision, and so I can't put him in that category because we didn't see – he had a nice wheel route catch, a great wheel route catch, and a touchdown, which is good, but I want to see more. He's probably the next option, number 3, and he didn't play very much.
And he may be the starting running back next week.
Well, I would not be opposed to that.
He may – well, because if you're going to face Fordham at home, I could grind out with Marquise Stepp.
Sure.
Right? I could. That could work for me.
Sure.
Fair enough. Yeah, Nana says, I think Cam's safety set the tone for the rest of the game. Absolutely. Who kicked off today? Text line is right. Whoever kicked off today was
Yeah. Kickoff person did a great job.
Whoever kicked off today was exceptional.
Was that Frank?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well done.
Frank, your last name.
Well done. Anybody on defense?
We had like 3 or 4 touchbacks today, DP. That's unheard of.
Look, we're setting new records, right? We adjusted. We got guys kicking it off in the end zone. How about that?
Yes.
That's fantastic.
Hey, Can we point? That's a positive today.
Yeah.
Kickoff was a positive today. Kicking off.
What will it take this week against Fordham to make you feel comfortable?
Nothing.
How bad of a beatdown do they have to put on Fordham for you to go, they fixed it?
Then they can you can't. I'm not trying to be negative. You just can't. Fordham is a FCS school. You should beat them. This is not a good FCS school. It's an average one. You should beat them down. Nothing they do can.
Well, how many points makes you happy?
That. Well, I'd say I'm happy if they win like 48-7.
Oh, you will let them score?
Yeah, let them score.
No, you don't. You can't let Fordham score, bro.
Backups, man.
You can't let Fordham score.
It's the fourth quarter with your 4 stringers.
You can't let Fordham score.
They'll probably score in the first drive.
All of your generosity was left in a tunnel in Champaign, Illinois. Like every bit of generosity is
your
gone.
Intended generosity.
Like, as a matter of fact, I'm meeting Fordham at the airport in Lincoln when they land. Like I'm meeting them there, and I got a mask on. Right? Like we're gonna have a conversation. Look, I know we wrote you a really big check, but guess what? You need to catch this business, man. Right? Like, come on. That's crazy. That's crazy. Text line says 56-0.
We could use one of those badly.
Caleb
could
Tanner.
use one of those.
Burton Columbus says Caleb Tanner. Agree. Caleb Tanner was all well, but
Did
Caleb,
he get ejected?
He didn't get ejected, but that was his double penalty.
Yeah. Double penalty.
Torrey, look.
Yeah, but Caleb Tanner early on didn't get a sack, but he was right there. He had a great play to
Torrey
blow over a right tackle.
He was He was exceptional, except play that was the momentum swing.
He caused a 30-yard penalty.
That's
which swung the game. You had interception at midfield, and instead it was 30 yards the other way.
We're gonna go to Vegas with Wet Blanket. He says, I promise you, Fordham will score on the first drive in the second half.
Well, hopefully you're up by 35-0 at that point. We can say, all right, it happens. That's what we do.
Okay, so they can't make it right against Fordham. Can they make it right against Buffalo?
Yeah, to a certain extent.
Give me a scenario where they come out 2-1, but what's going to happen?
For me to feel like they got a chance this season and also against Oklahoma to at least exist in that game? Is that what you're asking?
Yeah.
If they beat Buffalo, who I think is they're not great, they're respectable. If they beat them like 41-10, then I'll say, okay.
You're so generous.
I am generous.
You're a generous dude. Like I'll
defense
give
is hard.
You are way kinder than I am, Jake Sorensen. I have to tell you. Again, if I'm paying you $1 million to come to Lincoln and take a beating, you're going to take a beating.
You better do it. Yeah, you're not walking away with the win and $1 million. No way.
You're going to take a beating. This is how we look, man. Buffalo has a first-year coach that doesn't bid well for Nebraska. Oh, that's brutal. AJ, that's brutal. It's funny, but it's brutal.
What about Foreman? They have a first-year head coach too?
Oh, man. Also from the text line, is it possible that practice is too easy and doesn't replicate game intensity? I'll say this, and I've said this on the station many times.
Okay.
It's impossible. It is impossible for Nebraska to practice at Ohio State game speed. There's no iron for them to sharpen iron against. They're working against guys that were on the practice squad and walk-ons, even ones against ones. That secondary, while it provides some resistance, can't match up to Big Ten game speed.
We just received a message I got to comment on because it's selfishly for me only, and the rest of the state will hate it except for me.
Okay.
This is from Robert on Facebook, watching on the video stream. Hello, shout out, Robert.
Hey, Robert.
He says, if Fordham scores more than 21 points, I will give Jake my Masters tickets for 2022.
Oh, my. Oh, my. Wait a minute.
It is on now, DP.
Wait a minute.
On.
So, reset that.
Okay.
21 points. Fordham scores 21 points.
Yep.
What happens?
Or more. I receive Robert's Masters tickets for next year.
If they score 22?
Virtual handshake.
22.
Well, it says if they score more than 21. Well, 21
but
or
not
more.
20.
No, it's 21 or more.
Wow. That's pretty generous. I gotta tell you. That's pretty good.
What if they win like 66-21? I could take
That's
that.
hilarious.
Hey, I got Master tickets.
That is
here.
hilarious.
I've got Masters tickets on the line. I want Nebraska to shut them out, but I selfishly would like the chance to get Masters tickets here.
So you're going to be the one guy at Memorial rooting for Fordham to score a touchdown late in the game.
Yeah, come on.
And everybody will know why.
We're up by 40. Come on.
Everybody will know why.
We only had to win by 40.
They're going to chase you out of the building. It's not going to happen.
Well, I'll be the one that says just score 21 for Master tickets for me.
Oh, man. That's a pretty good offer, though.
I said it was selfish, but I like the selfish take there.
All right. Okay, so final call to get your name in the box. We'll do the raffle here shortly. We've got some football koozies up here. Come and grab whatever you want from it. We've got enough of those that everybody can grab some. Have at it. We'll do that shortly. Wow.
Believer says, going to have to make that happen. Jake will be out there knocking down defenders to allow 21 points to happen.
Thomas Mangum says Nebraska could beat Fordham 1,000,000-0, and I'd feel no better about the program. Wow. He said they'll probably win by 17.
That seems about right. I told you I'd put the line at 18 or 19, so 17 seems
it's
about
gonna
right.
be a tough. It's gonna be a tough Monday. It's gonna be a tough Monday because the wound will have become a bruise. It'll be a bit tender, and I'm not sure that the fan base wants to have that discussion in honesty. Right, and you and Sip are going to lead the deal on Monday.
We sure are.
You're going to lead it on Monday, and I have a sneaky suspicion.
What's that suspicion, TP?
That you're going to set the studio on fire.
Oh, yeah, I will. That's already been established for sure.
Wet Blanket says if it's 21-20 Nebraska and Fordham goes for 2, who are you taking?
I'm taking Nebraska. I'll gladly buy my Master tickets or just not go.
Wow,
there's no
tough.
result that if they lose the game, I accept the 21 points.
That's tough,
from
man.
Roberts.
Yeah, you're right. Like Monday's going to be
no
way. And somebody asked the question, well, where's Jay? Look, Jay had to walk into chaos and the Tasmanian Devil. I do want to say I want to send out prayers to Jay's dad, the legendary Chuck Foreman. He had surgery Friday, and so Jay had to go and kind of look out for his dad, and we will all round up some prayers for the Foreman family as it goes through. Jake, the elephant in the room, sellout streak.
Over. And I'll say this, and I know it's hard to just say that. It's been here since 1962. At this point, there's just not going to be that much desire to go to the game. You've got number one, you got COVID in the area. That's number one. Number two, you got a team that just lost to Illinois. I think it's okay to let it die. I know it's a long streak. I know it's going to be unpopular with some people. I know it's really a big fabric of this community and the state. But it's got to end at some point. It's got to end at some point.
What would that say though?
It's
today,
man.
Well, who gets credit for the streak ending, or blame?
Blame it on COVID if you want to. You can always blame it on COVID, man.
You're just gonna blame you're gonna.
I'm not going to. I said you can if you want to. We all know that's not the reason.
That's not the truth.
That's not when you have something that long end, you gotta stretch the truth a little bit.
No, you tell the truth.
The streak has ended because the team sucks.
How about saying we're not good enough right now? How about saying, look, if you want us to show up and be loyal, you got to give me a better product. I mean, you're the ones writing the checks. It's your credit cards.
Yep.
Like, you're the ones buying. I mean, come on. And I'm just going to ask, right? All right, man. I'm just no, I don't think Husker football is dead. I just think it needs some help. So, all right, Jake, let's fire this puppy up. We're going to give away the Tommy Frazier jersey. Let's 50 seconds. Oh, we'll do this after the break, and we'll get out of here. Okay. Nick, thank you for running the board and getting us through. We'll go off air and give away this jersey. We appreciate you guys spending time with us on a tough Saturday. We'll all be around Monday.
Oh, boy. Fireworks.
Buckle up, because
light it up.
6 to 8, it's Jake and Sip. Then you got Happer and Schaefer after that. Tom and Bach after that. Nick and Rico after that. Me and Jay Foreman after that. Ooh, my.
Light it up.
See you then.